Let's face it, as Nintendo fans, we are often left slightly disappointed and scratching our heads asking why. Where is our Super Mario Galaxy 3? Why isn't Metroid out yet? Bring back the Ice Climber, seriously, and what were you thinking with the Virtual Boy? Well, sit back as Sean Capri and Bobby Pauls do just that. That's right, this is If We Ran Nintendo. Now, cue the music, maestro.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 61 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru. Unfortunately, I am without Sean. I messed up the times, and he's not here at the moment. He might pop in a little bit later, so if he does, that'll be awesome. If not, I'm an idiot. So, but with me in his stead, I have the amazing people at Zoink Games. I have Klaus and Alex. How are you guys doing?
Great. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, we're great.
We're doing really good. Yeah.
Alex is the PR person. She's here to basically keep Klaus in check so he doesn't say anything crazy and get in trouble.
The manual beep.
Mostly fall asleep because I'm old.
And Klaus is the head honcho over at Zoink Games. So thank you guys for doing this interview. I have been wanting to do this again for a while. We did it on the Geekcast a couple of years ago, actually, and I had a good time.
You were actually the second podcast we were on ever. So
yeah. That was good times. It was late at night. Like, I remember Klaus with like this wood background. Like, it was like he's in the forest. He was at his house, his hunter motif. So we're going to kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our shout-outs. I real quick wanted to give a shout-out to friend of the show, Dave Moore. We moved our hosting from SoundCloud over to dayspace.com. We are in the process of trying to put something together, kind of like you guys do with your whole indie stuff and working together. A bunch of podcasters are getting together, and we're trying to create this big thing, this big community where we're all helping each other and stuff. So Dave is doing the hosting behind it with Dayspace. But the problem is I get on the Skype call with Dave, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden we're both big Amiibo fans. Next thing you know, we're talking Amiibo, and we start importing Amiibo from Japan, and and I was like, Dave, this is bad. Like, you and I should not be allowed to be in a call together at 1 o'clock in the morning and doing this stuff. So, what about you guys? Do you have anybody you want to shout out or say anything to? Or
well, since we're in a podcast, I could just give a shout out to the whole podcasting community. Really, thank you for embracing us this way. Mm-hmm. It all started with Mark and the Warp Whistle, which I know you know. And then we got on the Geekcast, and then it's just been rolling on. And a lot of people hearing a podcast and then going over to our desk if we want to join theirs. And it's a lot of fun, and thank you for helping spreading the word.
It's an honor for us, trust me. Like, when you guys embrace us, it feels amazing to us. Like I was that 15-year-old kid that used to sit there and read Nintendo Power and go, man, one day I just want to talk to developers. I just want to hang out. And like, for me, it started with Brian at Image and Forum, and then it led to you guys, and then it led to Jules Washam. And it's like, just amazing how encouraging you guys are and how it goes hand in hand. And it's kind of like we're all in the same boat, so to speak. Like, because we're... Like I said, we feel like we're indie podcasters. Like, we feel like we're not the top dogs. Like, there's bigger than us, you know? So it's kind of interesting, and we like that dynamic. And you guys have definitely been, other than the time when you sent me rotten fish, you guys have been so nice to me.
I'm so disappointed you didn't taste it.
Oh, get out of here. I couldn't even get it to my mouth. I literally started dry heaving in the front yard. I was like, my wife was like, if you're going to do this, you need to go outside now. It is so bad in this house.
You wrote in the letter, don't open it inside.
I know. And nobody thinks that's what it is. Like an idiot, I should have stopped the video and been like, let me go research what this stuff is. And I didn't. And then later, afterwards, we researched it, and my wife was like, oh my God, this stuff is horrible. There was like lawsuits in England where a guy was eating it all the time and his landlord wanted to throw him out because of it and stuff. And I'm like, holy cow, this stuff is like weapons of mass destruction. Like, we could like wipe out countries with this. It was, it was a smell so bad. And the worst thing was this. So I get done and I throw the can in the trash and it falls to the bottom of the trash can outside. I take the trash out because it smells every time I walk by the trash can. I take the trash out. They dump the can. The can stays in the bottom of the trash. For 2 months, I couldn't get, and I'm not reaching in there. I'm like, no, I don't care. It's not. Finally, after 2 months, the trash man finally must have like banged it hard enough that it went out. I said, my wife was like, you need to just throw the can away. I'm like, I don't think they'll take the can. Like, I wish they would. It was horrible.
If anyone wants to know what this is about, just go check out the video. I know it's on your YouTube, right?
Yeah, you know what? I'll put the link in the comments below. Like, it was pretty hilarious.
If you want to taste it, just come to the Zoink office and we'll...
It's actually not that bad.
Oh, would you stop it? Stop. Why are you lying to people? You're going to have people importing this stuff and like...
It smells a lot worse than it tastes.
It smells like...
It's a bit like cheese, you know?
We always eat this, not me, I'm vegetarian, so I don't have to, but in August, people in Sweden eat this, so...
Yeah.
That in August, Klaus will send you a video of him eating it.
I'll definitely do that, yeah.
You're nuts. You really... You know what? That explains a lot. That explains so much to me now about you. Like,
It's really salty when you eat it, honestly. But
dude, how? How do you get past the smell? That's all.
If you want something salty, I can just eat licorice or
I know.
Crisps or anything.
But
it was funny because I'm reading the note and I'm like, no, they wouldn't send me something like this. They wouldn't send me something this bad. And I was like, holy cow! When I crack, and the funny thing is, you see me trying to pop it open in the video, and I'm like, thank God. I said to my wife later, I was like, thank God I wasn't able to pop that thing off, because I said it would have went all over the place. We would have never got the smell out of the house. We would have had to sell the house, man. I would have. So, okay, so let's jump into this real quick. I got a couple of questions from the community, and I want to go over those first, and then we'll lead into what we have. So one comes from Adrian Nieto. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. If it's not Adrian, I apologize. But he says, how does it compare programming for the Switch compared to other platforms?
Well, it's I think one thing you have to think about, I guess that's more of a design issue, but one thing you have to think about is, of course, that it's a small screen, and so you can play it in really tiny mode. You know, it's a really tiny screen, so if you have some kind of really important information, or, you know, you can't design too small user interface details, because you know, it's going to become small here, and then, of course, huge on the TV, so it has to fit sort of to both ways. So like what we do a little bit is that we actually change the user interface a little bit different depending on where, if it's handheld or if it's on TV. That's one thing you have to think about. But for us, I mean, more specifically programming, it's quite similar to all other platforms, because we're using an engine that supports both. You know, using Unity, and Unity supports both platforms, so it's not that, you know, a huge difference.
That's interesting to know.
And what's really nice about it is that the controls are quite, you know, similar to a PlayStation or any other kind of console, which makes it a lot easier to, you know, port it or make sure that it works on several platforms.
Because you guys, when before the Switch announcement came that you guys were doing Flipping Death, I had saw on your Facebook page that you guys had Zombie Vikings running, like, and you guys were saying like it was running in 2 days or something like that. Like, it was really quick. Yeah,
we did get one version up and running really quickly.
Yeah, not the whole game, of course, but the first couple of levels.
First couple of levels we did, yeah, and if it was just playing 2 people, we're still not sure we're gonna actually do Zombie Vikings for Switch. So
I think this is me personally. I think it's a huge missed opportunity because of the fact of, like, with the couch co-op and how big that is with Nintendo. Like, you look at Snipper Clips, and like that game sold like gangbusters because of that whole people sitting around the couch playing together, and like that's a huge thing with Nintendo. And like you look at Mario Kart and all that, like multiplayer always, to me, tends to be like that's Nintendo's niche. Like that's where it goes. And that game in particular is like that's what that game belongs. Like that game belongs with like because I played it numerous. I mean, we played it with you the one time on the stream with Mark and Pete, or Barry Dunn, and then Toby and I used to play it a lot together, and it was like we'd be yelling at each other all the time, and like that's what couch co-op is. Like that's the whole gist of it. So I would love it if you guys would bring it. I love that game. I love Kakal. That she is awesome. Like that was
That's my favorite.
I actually when I was playing SteamWorld Heist, when I found that hat, I was like, oh my god, I like yes, and I threw it on Piper, and I was like, I played with Kakal's hat all the time after that. It was pretty awesome. Nick from Next Level Games, a friend of mine, he's got 2 questions, but he said, let me see what the one. The one is he wants to see about getting a physical copy of Stick It to the Man on the Switch, but he was hoping like maybe a Flipping Death Stick It to the Man double pack. So, is there any plans or ideas of maybe going physical with this game, or is this going to be strictly digital?
For Flipping Death?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
for both, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Flipping Death, we have some quite serious plans to bring it out on physical, and hopefully, if our plans are correct, we're going to have it day 1. So when it's released, it comes out physical too. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's what we're discussing this with a publisher, and we hope it's going to happen. We still haven't signed yet, so I'm not going to say who they are. It'll work out, but I think it looks really positive. So
that would be awesome. That really would be awesome.
It's great to, as you said, later on do some kind of a box with Stick It and the same.
Yeah,
kind of
that's
genre.
what I was gonna. That was one of my questions. Like, because you do in the trailer. At least I felt like Ray is in the trailer as a ghost or whatever. But is this in the same universe, or is this totally different things? And Ray just happens to be there because you wanted to kind of mess with people.
We like messing with people.
This is true.
I think I don't want to be constrained to the universe of Stick It to the Man, but I still think they sort of some weird way overlap each other a little bit.
Kind of intertwined universes.
Yeah. So
Dr. Braum is there as well. So
there's a couple of characters we bring in from Stick It to the Man that we use again.
Yes.
Because the ones that we really liked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we are thinking really smartly about it. Oh, they're really fitting together this way, but we're playing around with it to see which parts actually work. So they're sort of weirdly overlapping each other.
Yeah. But it's not a sequel.
It's not a sequel.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a sequel at all. Like when I looked at it.
Either, so.
And that makes sense because Ray's dead.
But he could be dead before.
Yeah.
Because it looks very. I mean, art style wise, obviously, but that's a lot of stuff that you do. I think Fee is the only one that looks nothing like anything you do. That's the one that's a standalone that doesn't have anything to do with, But this one, when I saw it, it was funny because we saw it in the trailer and I was sort of freaking out. Like that's the one that of the games. So obviously, like I'm a huge Image and Form fan. I love SteamWorld Dig. I got excited because that one starts the trailer off. That starts the whole Nindies thing. And I was like, oh my god, I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, we did it.
Because they're trolls. They're trolls all day long. Like I call Brian the CE troll. Like he is just he just likes to mess with people. And so when I saw that, I got super excited. And then later on, it went through. I'll be honest, I totally was calling for you guys to do Zombie Vikings. I really thought, especially when you guys teased that like you had it running, I thought we're gonna get Zombie Vikings. There's no doubt in my mind we're getting Zombie Vikings. And then when Flipping Death hit, I was like, holy crap, like that just blew me away. Like that hit me out of nowhere. And to me, that was like, I looked at that trailer and I was like, or I looked at that whole direct thing and I thought my takeaways was Stardew Valley, Ukulele, obviously, because people were kind of on the fence if that was coming or not, but everybody wants it. SteamWorld Dig 2, and then Flipping Death. Like, those were my takeaways of, like, I want these games now. I don't want to wait. Like, give them to me now. And it's pretty awesome. Like, development wise, are you guys on pace to definitely hit 2017? Do you feel, or where do you?
Is that a good answer for you?
That's it.
That sounds like it's 2019. You better stop.
That was the initial plan with 2017, but we don't really want to make any great promises for that, because we want to be able to take our time with it and really make it polished. And
there's a couple of things that's going on, and one thing is, of course, that we're still not a huge team, and we are also developing Faye.
Yes.
And so that means that we're gonna do a lot of marketing. We're gonna focus a lot on Faye suddenly. So we're gonna switch view and look a lot at Faye. And then I don't want something. Oh, there's also this other game. So I don't want Flipping Death to be sort of like falling sort of under the radar just because Faye's coming out.
Yeah.
So we are thinking maybe it's better to release it after Faye.
Yeah.
But we just don't know exactly how far away from Faye we're gonna do it. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the last time we interviewed, that was coming off the tails of like the whole kind of Zombie Vikings issues and with the bugs and all that stuff. And you guys went back. You guys were very open with all that, and you guys were, you know, you didn't hide anything. You explained the issues. I feel like, me personally, I would be like, hey, take your time. Make sure it's right. Make sure it's done right. Like, that's probably the one takeaway. Because I think you recognize, like, you can take your time, do the game right, make it perfect, and then put it out, as opposed to rush to make deadlines, and then next thing you know, everybody's like ripping you apart because of it.
The thing we have since we're self-publishing Flipping Death, we have the opportunity to do that. We don't have any deadlines. We can set our own deadlines.
Yeah, we can sort of wait a little bit. It was a little bit different with Zombie Vikings. We had Sony who wanted to get it out, you know, or PlayStation wanted us to get it out. So. But right now,
so we definitely learned from that, as you say, and that's why we've been very careful with giving out too early release date, because we don't want to disappoint people and say a date and then go changing it every other week.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think that's one thing that Nintendo fans get. They've been so trained to that, you know. Yeah. I mean, look at Zelda. You know what I mean? Like Zelda literally was 4 years after it got announced initially. It was supposed to be a year after they announced it at the first E3, and then we get it like 3 years after that, and it's like, but you know what, at the end of the day, nobody can complain, you know what I mean? Like, you look at that game, and you look at like what they were able to accomplish. What open world game can you play that doesn't have bugs and is all glitchy? And that, to me, is a testament of like, hey, take your time and do it right. Like, if you do it right and you do it good, nobody's going to complain or say anything, because at the end of the result, like, everybody just raves about it, you know? Except for Klaus. Klaus likes to make fun of the way Link jumps.
Yeah. What?
I haven't heard this.
I think
it was on Twitter or Facebook. I forget. But I saw something where you said that.
I just thought it's funny how he jumps. I think it's funny how he jumps. Yeah.
I haven't even thought about that.
Jumps like he's all that.
Yeah. He does.
I'm gonna look at that.
They don't typically. He doesn't typically jump in games. Like, it just started recently happening. Like.
He never jumps, actually, so he's still learning it, right?
Yeah. You would think that Mario would have taught him by now to figure out how to jump, but I guess that's not working. So another question from Nick. He said, like, have you spoken to other developers, indie or otherwise? Like, how do other companies feel about developing for the Switch?
Well, from what I heard, most people are very positive.
Yeah.
I haven't heard like any negative feedback, I think.
No. I mean, obviously we talk a lot to Image and Form.
Yeah.
Since they're just a couple of blocks away from us, almost.
Yeah.
So they're really happy with it. I think mainly it's mainly that people are just, I think we're quite happy that it's not some kind of weird interface, that it's a really kind of, in a way, quite simple interface in a way, and that it's just so nice but instead focusing on that you can bring it with you and play it at home.
Yeah.
So we don't have to think about, is it a touch device or is it like a control device or what is it in between, which was the problem with Wii U,
Yeah.
We got kind of confused. What do we have to do with it,
Yeah.
So I think, a lot of people seems like it's really easy for them to make a decision to support it. It's really easy to make something for it. It's something we all know how to develop for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite positive, I think.
How does it feel? Because and I know that you've worked with Nintendo in the past, but like this time around, because you guys got dev kits pretty early compared to other indie developers. How does it feel to be working with Nintendo now? Like, what's the relationship like?
They've been really supportive,
yeah.
Like with the Nindies presentation and everything.
For us, of course, they've been super supportive. I mean, we got the dev kits really early. I mean, very early.
Yeah.
If you know the story, but it was I actually was invited down to Nintendo in the summer, and I wasn't allowed to tell anybody about it.
Yeah.
Not anybody in the company. And I was allowed to tell just one person who came with me, but I couldn't tell anybody else that I was going there, not even my wife that I was supposed to go.
Holy cow.
That's weird, you know. I obviously told my wife, you know, I'm not going to follow that, you know.
Don't tell Nintendo.
Yeah.
But,
Meanwhile, she's trying to divorce you because you just went on this weird trip someplace. You didn't tell her where you're going.
And you have in Germany, or blah, you know, the main office is in Germany. It was really weird. So then when we came back, we couldn't tell anybody. And then when we got the dev kits, we weren't allowed to show anybody, so we had to have the dev kits in a locked room, in a specific room where somebody had to go in and work with it only there. So for us, it was really nice when they finally showed that video, you know.
Yeah, because you could...
And I was like, oh, finally, okay, we have it, you know, it's here.
And I got to the office and like, oh, look, it was this cool stuff. And I was like, yeah, we know.
Yeah. And it was funny because I told Brian from Image and Form, I was like telling him, you know what? I have the dev kit. And he was like, yeah. I had it like 3 months before you. And I was like, oh, you know. I thought it was like really cool, but he was even cooler than me, you know.
Well, we had Jules on. Jules Washam from A Toy Now, and we were talking to him, and he said he found out that Brian had it because he was out to dinner with Damon Baker, someone from Nicholas, I guess the head of Nicholas, Kurt from Nicholas, and Brian, and they're out there having dinner, and Kurt turns around and goes, well, you guys have had a dev kit for a while now. And Brian's face just dropped. Like,
am I allowed to say it?
Yeah, he's not allowed to say it. He's sitting there, and Jules looks at him like, what the hell, man? You never said nothing to me. He's like, I thought we were friends. And
I know.
He didn't want the Nintendo ninjas to come take him out, so he kept his mouth shut.
But since then, they've been like, and also since, so we did the reveal with Nintendo, of course, at GDC, and then they saw that it was really received really positively, so like a week after that, we were actually invited to RESD, which is like a convention here in London. Invited to London, and they paid for the trip, and we went to RESD, and
we got this little Nintendo booth.
Booth here, where they were showing flipping that stuff for us. They've been super supportive actually. So, so it's been very good for us to. It's also the first time we're actually revealing a game with Nintendo. It's always been PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Actually, before it was PlayStation 3. So this is the first time we actually do with Nintendo.
Yeah. And we've always been wanting to work with them because just like the Nintendo crowd, the Nintendo community is so nice.
They're so nice, yeah.
And so vocal.
Yeah.
They're so vocal and they're so nice, and they also feel like I feel like right now it feels like they're more open to sort of like new creative designs. You know, because Nintendo's always been about innovative designs and something different. You know, you always know that you're gonna get something that has some kind of new thoughts to it. You know.
Yes, absolutely.
And it feels like that's the same thing with the games. So our games really fit into that really well. Because we always want to try to do some kind of innovative, new kind of game design.
Yeah. Well, because you were talking about the last time you had that, like, the animal or the ball or something that you stuffed the Wiimote into, and it was like a hot potato type game. So that's the one thing I will say about you guys, that you guys are always trying to innovate and that's why I felt like you guys always would mesh well with Nintendo, because of that. You guys are always trying to change the direction of, you don't do anything, like, a lot of companies will try to go different on their next game, and you guys do. Like, you don't even blink an eye. Like, you know, stick it to the man to Zombie Vikings, and it's like you guys totally change directions and don't even think about it. So that's what you need, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to publish our sock game though.
Yeah, we had a suck game once. It was for, you know, I was actually pitching. I was pitching 2 games. This is for Kinect. Remember Kinect?
Oh yeah.
So I pitched them a sock puppet game. You know, you actually had to put a sock on your hand, and you were then using it to actually fight other sock puppets.
Oh, good God!
Then I also had a pillow fight game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the pillow fight game was really fun too.
Oh, I haven't. What did you do? You just pillow fight? Because you can do that without.
I know, but this was like advanced pillow fights. The pillows would actually come alive, and it would track the pillows, and it would come faces on them, so you would like sort of fight each other with pillows. You know?
Wow, that's
who would play that?
No, I wouldn't play that.
You know what the duck game was called? Zuckzilla.
Oh, that I would probably try. But the pillow fighting, no. No, that's not.
We also have a pitch on our YouTube page you can check out for this Balls of Fury.
But I think he knows about this one.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember that one.
Nintendo pitch, and that was a game Nintendo didn't want to.
No, they were scared that I was gonna break the TVs. That was just about the time when the Wiimote came out and people already, throwing Wiimotes into their screens.
Yeah.
So a ball catching game wasn't on their top priority
unfortunately
list.
not. I still think that. I mean, even today, that game would be great because you have like the tiny Joy-Cons, and they're really small. So you could make a tiny ball like this, and you could throw it at each other. It could be really, and you could have two balls.
Yeah.
Each other,
Juggles.
Yeah.
We like coming with ideas.
Like I said, I like that about you guys. You guys are definitely ahead of the curve when it comes to that stuff. I like that. How soon? So I know that Faye was built into Zombie Vikings. There was a demo in Zombie Vikings that people can actually get to and unlock. But how soon after Zombie Vikings did you guys move on to Flipping Death? Where did that come from? How long has that been in development?
Flipping Death was actually around before Zombie Vikings.
Yeah, actually, right after Stick It to the Man, we started a prototype of Flipping Death.
Okay.
So we did a prototype for 2 months or something like that. We had a working demo of the whole Flipping Death and how it worked, and we could flip the world. And I was already working on the story and all, and the characters and everything. But then, I don't know, there was a couple of things. First off, Ryan North couldn't jump onto the project, so he couldn't work with us.
Okay.
And
the writer for Stick It.
Yeah, the writer for Stick It to the Man. And then a lot of us just felt like, we're going to do another, puzzle, adventure, sort of platform game directly after Stick It to the Man. We said, we'd like to do something else. We felt a little bit tired of it at that time.
Mm.
So we said, okay, let's just put it on. And there was a couple of design issues that I hadn't really solved, that I didn't really know how to solve.
Mm.
It's very technical, but so I kind of decided, okay, let's just wait a little bit with it, and then we started working on Zombie Vikings instead.
Yeah.
So I knew right after Zombie Vikings, let's just try it again, see if we can solve those technical issues, see if we can figure it out.
Actually, I remember after Zombie Vikings, we were talking about doing Zombie Vikings 2, but then we couldn't really decide and did some sketches and stuff. And then I know you were talking about, I'm not sure if we're gonna do something new. And we did have this old idea because I wasn't around when Flipping Death was getting started for the first time. We were like, we had this old game, Flipping Death, I can show you. So that was the first time I heard about it and saw the old demo.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks later, here, we'll do this instead. So
I was just gonna, it was just, it felt like we, now it actually worked, it was good. It's good timing to do it now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The trailer, and again, when I saw the trailer, immediately the art design is there. You see that and you go, that's Klaus, that's Zoink. That's totally, I follow you on Instagram. Whenever you do your drawings and stuff, your style is so recognizable anywhere immediately. So it's the minute you see, that's where I started freaking out. When I saw it, I was like, oh my, my wife was like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, that's Klaus, it's Klaus. And it was like, here you go. How did it feel to be on the stage last year with EA? That, to me, that was another one that I was freaking out. And my wife was like, wait a minute, I know that guy. And it was this cool moment for us.
Now your wife is like, is it Klaus again?
There's a guy in our house. Is it Klaus? Yeah, I know it. How did it feel? It felt horrible. It was. I was so nervous. I mean,
it must have been cool though.
It was cool right after. I mean, it was cool. It was really cool to feel that. I mean, it was really cool to know that we had to go up there. And I was really proud of Zoink, and I was really proud of finally, been working so long on both Faye and flipping and everything, and worked so hard to really get the company working. And then this felt like, we made it,
Yeah.
finally, we're here. Nobody, it really became like a serious company that, and to have EA and everything like that, it was just like, it was very cool.
We were sitting people here at the office in a couch and just like waiting for it to start, and then the whole show got going. And like, when is Klaus coming? When is Klaus coming? We were really nervous as well, but everything went great. So
it was a nice surprise because like even Mark Carabin, like we're both texting each other as it's going on, and we're like, holy crap, like we know that guy. Like we were like we played Zombie Vikings with him, and the even better thing was like when you showed the game, we were like, oh, we already knew about that. Like, who cares? Like, come on, we knew about that a while ago. Like, but it was just kind of cool because just the whole atmosphere and everything, and it was like because the year before I think they did Unravel, and we did that whole spotlight thing for Unravel. So to see you up there and do all that, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like, it is. It's kind of like, I feel the same way, kind of like what you guys were describing is you guys were this small indie development team, and then like this was kind of like your come up. Like this was your moment to be like, okay, we're a legit player in the indie scene now. And then, the fact that like Nintendo recognizes it too is pretty cool.
Yeah. And you were running Twitter that
time.
It
was so crazy because as soon as the fair part was over, I got on the computer, and I've never seen anything like it. It was like
That's amazing.
And I just searched for the fair game hashtag, and it was just, I couldn't keep up with it. I just had to wait for an hour and then track back, and like, what do people write? Everyone was so excited, almost everyone.
Yeah, it was very
positive.
It was very positive,
it was so cool.
That's when you get. I had that one time. We did a giveaway with a bigger company once, and my Twitter feed was blowing up, and literally like it was just bing, 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 and then all of a sudden you get a message from Twitter like, you could stop getting messages from this person. This one, just click this button, and I was like, I don't want to do that. Like it's kind of, this is kind of cool. Like this is my only moment to get this, so it's kind of neat, but it's it's a little scary at the same time. Have you talked to any, and you don't have to name names or anything like that, but like have you talked to any third-party developers or indie developers that like aren't working on Switch but might, like, they're definitely interested in working on Switch? Because I think as a Nintendo fan, that's the biggest fear, is the developers won't come to Switch. But at the same time, you see this huge amount that are like very interested, but like what's the talks that are behind the scenes like with this thing? Like, is this something that is definitely want to be worked on by everybody, or you don't know?
I haven't talked to I haven't talked to that many actually, but I mean I think it's just generally a lot of, if you even see EA, EA mentioned that they're interested in developing now for Switch. I mean that's a huge step even for them, Yeah. That means they do it. You can imagine how everybody else also is sort of following that.
Yes.
So I don't think and I know for a fact. That for example, a lot of indie developers are using Unity.
Yeah.
I think it's like at least 60% or something, even more is using Unity. So, and I know that Unity is much better for Switch than it was for Wii U.
Yeah.
It's a lot faster. It's a lot easier to use. It's generally just easier to develop for it. So I think. It's going to be a totally different ball game than Wii U. I think it's going to be you're going to see a lot more indie titles coming out for it. So
I've been seeing, not talking to people in person, but seeing some indies on Twitter and stuff, wanting to develop for the Switch, but not getting a dev kit.
I think that's more the problem, probably.
So I don't remember the game, but they had like 19,000 followers and stuff, so really a lot bigger than us. They hadn't gotten a hold of a dev kit, but they really wanted to do it, and they were like, tell Nintendo you want this game because we want to make it, but we can't right now. So I don't know how the situation is for the other indies, but
it seems like, from my eyes anyway, it seems like Nintendo Europe was just giving these things away. Like it didn't matter. You were getting them. It was easier for you guys to get them, as opposed to like Nintendo of America, because Jules. He's always been pro Nintendo. He's always done stuff for Nintendo, and he didn't get one for a while. And so you would think that like But I think the idea was they were going after the big companies in America. Like, they were trying to get the EAs and all those companies on board before they went to the smaller developers.
Well, I think it's more, it's just so early still, and I think when we got the dev kits, it was just because we were one of the few ones who got it who actually were indie. I mean, there was Image and Form, of course, there was us. There wasn't that many indie developers who got the dev kits.
Yeah.
So I don't think they were just giving it away. It was just that there wasn't that many to give away actually. But yeah, I think it's very different now, because now suddenly they have. I mean, when we got the dev kits, they weren't even looking like dev kits, They were just looking like these weird things, Now it's a lot different. Now they actually have them.
People didn't know what it was about really yet and stuff.
No, nobody understood what it was even,
No, people are knocking on their door like, give us.
Yeah. Now they all know it, and I think they have a lot more, so I think it's going to be a lot more right now, yeah. But definitely, it could be that they're a little bit more, it's hard for me to say, but it seems like America want to, we call it make sure that there's only good titles coming out.
Yes.
I don't think it's a bad thing either.
No, not at all.
There's so many titles coming out to Steam. It's almost like you can't find out which one is good and which one is bad. There's almost too many out there. Yeah. And I think it's important it's also one of the reasons why we're interested in putting something on Nintendo, because it is actually, a little bit, it's just not a ton of software out there. So it's more, if we make a really good game, we're sure that's actually going to be seen,
Yeah.
Instead of just falling, between all these other crappy software out there, Sorry.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like, that's the big thing. Like, everybody's like, right now they rave about PlayStation and stuff, and I'm like, but I can't tell what's good and bad. Like, there's so much stuff on there. It's like, what's good? You don't hear about any of this stuff at all, and it's like, at least I know that the stuff that's coming on, like, I'm buying everything that hits Switch right now. I literally have like 25 games right now since launch. Like, everything that comes, I'm buying it, and it's like this week I get Street Fighter Ultra, and 2 weeks ago I bought Minecraft, and I bought NBA Playgrounds, and it's like everything that's hitting, I'm buying up, because there's not a lot coming, but the games that are hitting seem to be quality games that are hitting. So it's like, this is a great time for me, because I'm. It's not like you're getting all these games. It's like, well, what's good? You know what I mean? You can kind of go like, okay, this is good. This is what I like, and this is what I like. So,
yeah. That's the only thing I guess that's the only thing I'm scared of, is to, like, what happens if we release our game next year? Are there going to be a ton of software out there so we won't be seen, or is it better to actually release it this year? So that's I don't know what Nintendo's plans are around there. I mean, how many titles are they actually releasing?
I feel like, I would hope anyway. I feel like they're trying to be more helpful with the developers, and especially if you go day and date with them, it seems like they're going to be like in your back pocket and kind of push and help. A game like this is so unique. I think that they'd be fools to not, and I'm saying that, not Klaus, but but I think it'd be a misstep. You know what I mean? If they didn't push games like because it's. I feel like you guys are a strong developer, and the fact to get you guys on board with what they're doing is just a win. It's a huge win for them, and that's what they need. They need guys like you to get on board and to develop more games for it. So, like Faye, you could put Faye on Switch for day one. I'd be cool with that.
You wouldn't be sad?
I would not be upset at all. I would prefer it to be on Switch. That's the thing I look at. And I think that's where a lot of fans are looking at it right now. The fact of they promised us something. Hey, you can play this at home and you can play it on the go. And they delivered with it.
Yeah.
When I know, talking to my friends, like, that's what we look at. Like, what these games, are they parallel? Do they work in that fold? A game like Zelda, I never imagined. I was like, I'm just going to play it on the TV. I don't want to play it on the go. But then when I played it on the go, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like, I took it to work all the time. So, for me, if a game hits on PlayStation 4, on Xbox, on wherever, and the Switch same day, I'm buying the Switch version. Just because I want to be able to take it on the go and play it at home. That's where Nintendo has the huge coup right now, like the big win right now, because they could do that. So, one last, I got two things left, but I'm going to do one quick question before, because you mentioned on the dev kits and stuff you got early, but when you got the dev kits, did they explain to you, like, this is a portable and a home console? Or did they just say, like, here it is, go start making a game for it, and then we'll come back to you later?
No, we knew all the details when we started. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. We knew it quite early.
I'm really disappointed that you didn't come to me sideways.
To say this, but I'll find out.
I don't know.
I think it's a problem now. It's out the bag.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing how they actually kept it such a secret, and I think it's a good. I mean, there was some people who predicted it, but not a lot, you know.
Yeah.
There was also
I'm amazed you kept it a secret, because you're not very good at keeping secrets.
No, I'm not very good at that.
So, like we do on every episode, if we ran Nintendo, what would we do in this situation? So, if we ran Nintendo, what Nintendo IP would we give to Zoink Games to make for them, for Nintendo? What do you guys...
I thought about it now.
Klaus panicked when he heard the question was going to come up.
Now I'm actually pretty okay.
Okay, you start. See.
Okay.
Yeah?
I would actually redo 1-2 switch.
Really?
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't like 1-2 switch the way you've done it.
I don't like it either.
But I think it's a great idea, and I just think the design of it is really boring and weird. I don't like the videos. But
I really think it just...
But I can totally see it, you know, doing it in a really fun way. And I would love to do it in my style, of course, or any kind of other style. But I would just make it much more into like WarioWare, kind of crazy kind of stuff, but much more cuter in a way too.
The videos are weird. We're definitely gonna be joking about that in like 10 years. We're gonna be like, what the fuck was that?
What would they do?
Check out these crazy, weird old games. Look at this.
Because it's such a great opportunity. And another thing I would do is I would definitely bundle it with the Switch. I don't understand because if you had bundled it, it would be like, well, here you buy it, and then there's like Christmas Eve, you know, stuff. Christmas Eve, everybody would just have fun around it, you know, and it was a perfect party game to have.
That's absolutely.
And I think they really missed an opportunity there because that's how they sold the Wii. The Wii was really the Wii sports machine, you know, it was like the bowling game, the tennis game, and this could have been that. But I think with the design, it looks. I wouldn't have real humans. I would have characters, cartoons, some kind of simplified, fun stuff. You know, I would still have kind of the same games. The games are okay. It's just the whole feel of it doesn't feel nice. It feels like, you know, a little bit. And so I think they missed something there. But I would redo that one.
I definitely had some fun with the game, but I think it could be. If Sonic did it, it would be much better.
If I ran Nintendo, I would give you guys Yoshi, because I feel like you guys do amazing stuff with platforming, and I also feel like with Yoshi, it's kind of that different taste. Like the original one on the Super Nintendo was kind of like a little kid drew it, and then you got the yarn one and the past one and stuff. And I feel like with your art style, it's definitely unique, and Yoshi could really take a cool thing. And I just think that you guys would do amazing stuff with a 2D side-scrolling platformer, especially Yoshi, because it allows you to use your creative side that you Klaus, definitely showed that you can do. So
we have a picture of Zombie Vikings Yoshi, actually.
We do actually.
That Andreas did. I think it was Andreas.
No, he did.
Yeah, it was Andreas. Yeah. Okay, I'll post it later on Twitter or something. Yeah, he's quite dead.
He's quite dead.
So, thank you guys for coming on.
I'm not getting to take mine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought it was together. I thought because you were like, we would do this. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. So, if you ran Nintendo, Alex, what game would you give to Zoink?
Okay, so I would look more like into not the art style, but I thought what's Zoink good at? We're quite good at making fun characters and like fun just dialogues and stuff. So I was actually thinking about Animal Crossing.
Oh.
Just feel a town with Zoink characters living.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And just interacting with them and just hanging out with them.
Actually, Flipping Death is all.
Yeah,
it's kind of going in that direction of this weird little town with crazy people.
Oh my god, I like that. That is awesome. And I'm a huge Animal Crossing fan, so that to me is like, I like that. It would. I think it would change the game. You know what I mean? Like the game is kind of, I don't want to say stale, because they do try to add stuff to it all the time. But like the art style and stuff, like the changing of the art style and all that would be, Yeah, I'd be on
Might
board with
not
that.
be as cute.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Or you get Stina to do it.
Yeah, oh, Stina does it, we would be super cute.
Yeah. We actually did, there's a little bit of a reveal here, but we just finished a prototype for VR.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And
it's pretty cute.
It's actually, I was thinking the same because Stina did the character design, is one of our great art directors here. And she did the character design, and it's very sort of, it feels a bit like Animal Crossing, you know?
It does.
It's very cute, actually.
You were doing a lot of stuff early on with VR, because I noticed you were doing, like, you personally, like you were painting and stuff in VR, and I saw you.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
I think it's fun to, it's just cool to try, even though it's not, I don't feel, I mean, VR is, I think it's gonna, in the end, it's gonna work, but right now it's sort of like at the beginning, we gotta figure out how it's gonna be better, but I think it's really fun to play with, and it's really fun to have some kind of new medium where it just, this is totally different. It's a totally different way to tell stories, a totally different way to play, and it's just fun to have a new sort of, there's a lot of space to innovate in, which is really interesting to do.
I think the main thing right now with VR is they have to have a company that doesn't give up on it. Like, they need to keep pushing the envelope and keep, you know, and I think Oculus is probably going to be the forefront and the leader to that, where Oculus will keep trying and innovating and doing different things, because I feel like, I look at Sony and I feel like Sony's probably on the early start of like pulling the plug a little bit on it. It just doesn't feel like they're really pushing hard with it.
Yeah, it's I talk to some Sony people sometimes, and they say, and I think it's not really the case. PlayStation is actually still doing a lot for it, but it's true that Oculus, they have a lot of money they have to spend.
Well, now that they got Facebook, I mean, Jesus.
So they can just like force it through, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of like when Microsoft got into video gaming. It was like this huge juggernaut came in. It was like, they got these deep pockets behind them. They could just throw anything at them. And they did. You know what I mean? When they started, they were just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So, like, and the other thing, too, is like Oculus, that's all they do. Where, like, a Sony has other stuff that they can do.
Yeah.
So when
obviously they got like 60 million PlayStations, so they can like, why should we continue with this? Well, we can just support that instead. You know?
And I think because people see what they did with Vita, it makes them a little leery with the VR in terms of like, I hope they keep pushing. I'm not a fan of VR, and it's not something that I'll ever play. Even if Nintendo does it, I will not do it. I would not do it at all. It doesn't matter who makes the game. I tried it at my buddy's house, and I had like just an ache over my eyes and under my. It just felt weird. It felt weird.
Was it PlayStation?
It was PlayStation VR. It was PlayStation VR. Yeah,
you need to play Oculus.
That's what I think. I think it's what scares me too is the fact of like. They're not super, at least with PlayStation, it's not a supercomputer. It's not super powerful. And I know from what I've read that it tricks your brain into thinking your eyes are looking long distance. And what can mess your eyes up is when it pixelates. And that always makes me nervous with PlayStation VR because I know the thing's not powerful. So it's like, am I risking my eyes with this? I know Sony's saying no, but... I'm not trusting somebody that sells it to me.
With all of them.
Yeah, I don't.
I've had a lot of fun with both PlayStation VR and Oculus and Vive, and
I played for many hours, and I don't have a problem with it. But I mean, it's different people. You know, it's something you have to get used to. I think definitely.
Yeah, my eyes already suck, so I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Mine are great. These are fake glasses. I don't wear glasses. This is for style. That's all this is. They're actually they're clear sunglasses. But for me, like Oculus, maybe I should try an Oculus and see how it feels. But like I did like the stuff. Like I played the Sony demo, and the one where you're in a shooting range and you're using the move to like grab a gun and like change the clip and shoot. I was like, this is kind of cool. It just makes me nervous. I don't know. We'll see.
If you ever play the Oculus, you should definitely try, like, the best games I played are Super Hot VR.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. I thought that we played in the office, and the people the little team we had here was working on a prototype. They had like a bet on who would first tilt their coffee mug, because everybody was like, every day.
Yeah.
This girl Sophia, she actually lost because she played super hard VR and she totally spasmed out on this one. It was really funny. That one was really good. And they have Robo Recall, which is made by Epic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like this really beautiful action game, really nicely done. I played those two a lot.
Awesome.
They're really good, I think. Really good.
Lots of fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so that is all. Thank you guys for listening to us. Thank you two for coming on. I really wholeheartedly appreciate it. Let us know like where people can find you and all that stuff, and give yourself a little plug if you want.
You can find us on Twitter, Facebook at Zoink Games, and also on YouTube, Zoink Games. So that's our main outlets, I guess.
Yeah.
And Klaus, you can find.
Yeah, well, I'll be jumping in and answering in Zoink Games too. Not that much. You're usually the one who does it, but I'm there sometimes too. But you can also follow me at hardest. You'll have to write that somewhere. Klaus Lyngeled at Twitter. And what's your personal account actually?
That's great, Alex.
That's great, Alex. I didn't get that one.
It was the only thing containing Alex that I found that was free, and that people in English-speaking countries could spell.
That's very good. Yeah.
That's true. That's always a plus.
No, I had my last name before, and it was just a bother.
It's a bit much.
I am on Instagram actually. Yeah. I'm Zoinkling on Instagram. That's all. Where I usually just put all my artwork. So there's a lot of.
Yeah. Nobody cares about my Instagram because it's just baby pictures.
That's okay.
Listen, follow me on Twitter instead.
my co-host is like that right now, so it's fine. Sean's got pictures all over the place, baby pictures. The one thing I said to him was the cool thing is like me and my wife always joke about this. Like when our friends have a baby, you just get this flood on social media baby pictures, and it's like after about 2 weeks, you're like, okay. Beautiful kid. Stop showing pictures. We're sick of it. and I said, and Sean's like, man, I'm super sensitive about that, man. We're trying, and I'm like, the difference is though, your wife's a photographer, so she's got like all these cool pictures of like their son, like dressed as Mario and like with stuffed animals. I'm like, for me, I love it. I'm like, I'm geeking out, man. This is awesome. Yeah. So, you can follow me Instagram, Twitter at Nintendo Gurus. Follow the show If We Ran Nintendo on Twitter. That is all. See me later.
For Penny Dahlberg, death had a strange flip side. Literally. Welcome to the other side, where if you're here, you're most likely dead. But for Penny, there was no rest in peace.
A job? But what do I have to do?
Oh, you know, the usual.
Well, I did once temp in a kindergarten.
From the creators of Sticker to the Man comes a new adventure with an innovative flip side.
Ugh, smells like wet socks in here.
Did the ice cream just talk to me?
Possess and control the living to help the ghosts with their problems.
Got any super glue?
Where's that Dr. Laser?
Yeah, baby!
He wasn't even a good kisser.
Why am I doing this?
I always assumed dying would be the last thing I ever did, but well, here we are.